Madam Co-Chair, and Leader Jeffries, thank you very, very much for pulling together this hearing and for focusing our attention on this very imminent threat to a program that has never missed a payment in 90 years. For 73 million Americans, half of all seniors who live alone, over 65, Social Security is the only thing that separates them from living in dignity or living and dying in poverty. For 73 million Americans, it's a lifeline. Not only retirees, but also people who unfortunately have suffered a disability, can no longer work, and for a lot of kids who receive supplemental security income with severe disabilities. I had the honor, as you said, of leading these men and women, and I watched them rally at one of the most difficult times in the agency's history. And seeing the progress they made, I likened it to, they were sprinting up a downward moving escalator. And what was moving it downward at such an increased velocity was the greater numbers of people every single day that they were serving. Because of, dare I say here, this committee is much younger than me, due to baby boomers of my generation, the ranks of their beneficiary customers every single day was a new record high. And after 10 years of staffing reductions imposed by House Republicans, their staffing was at a 50-year low. This graph kind of sums it up to the men and women of the committee. You can see, and it was projected for many, many years, Social Security operates on a 75-year projection. All of those baby boomers were born post-World War II, and we knew they were coming. But even with seeing the growing numbers of beneficiaries, level funding for this agency over the last 10 years has meant that they have to let the grim reaper of attrition bring them to a balanced budget by the end of the year. And lest anybody look at that yawning gap and think, well, why don't they just make up for it with better IT? Well, that'd be a great idea, except they've had to postpone, push off for years and years IT modernization. It's not that they're dumb. It's not that they're stupid. It's not that they want old technology. It's that we have failed to invest in their ability to modernize their IT. From my knowledge of this agency, from what I've learned from these hardworking men and women, this chainsaw of the Musk-Trump co-presidency is gutting this agency. It is breaking it from within, and it ultimately will lead to cascading failures, interruptions, and system shutdowns that will eventually, and I think within the next couple of months, lead to benefit interruptions for the first time in 90 years. And the reason for this crisis is not a mystery. House Republicans have remained silent in the face of this looming threat. They're allowing this agency to be broken from within and allowing Donald Trump and Elon Musk to degrade customer service and drive experienced employees out. If you want to find waste at Social Security today, look at the cash payments of our money and beneficiaries' money in earning their benefits. Look at the cash that they are burning by paying experienced, if overworked men and women to leave the agency. Some of them they're paying for the entire year not to show up for work again. Don't let the door hit your backside on the way out, and no knowledge transfer, which is critically, which creates a critical situation, especially in IT, where so many are retirement eligible. In the Office of Benefit Information Systems, 40% of those employees are retirement eligible. And they have been dealing these last 2 years with a hostile work environment intentionally brought on by the Trump, Musk, Doge teams, and telling people if you don't take the cash to get out now, you take your chances walking the plank of further rifts and firings if you don't take the cash to get out now. What would you do if it was your family that was at risk from this threat? And it's not just a threat. In their first week with their new appointed acting commissioner, they brought in two of the highest performers of the agency. One was the head of the Office of Customer Service Transformation, the other the head of the Office of Civil Rights and Equal Opportunity. set them both down individually, and said, you're being fired for cause. Tell everybody in your office they're being fired for cause too. Put your stuff in a cardboard box. This is your last day. They created a spectacle in the full parking lot at the end of that day with men and women who had given their lives to this mission, crying on each other's shoulders, saying goodbye to colleagues. That's the atmosphere that's been created at this agency. I truly believe that the Musk-Trump co-presidency has already taken 90% of the actions necessary to crater this agency. And this is the chronology that you will see unfolding in the weeks ahead. You've already seen it in the weeks behind. Largest number, greatest exodus in the agency that the agency's ever experienced over such a short period of time. I believe it's hard to get good numbers out of the agency anymore. It's kind of become the hermit kingdom. I believe they're probably at about 6,000, 7,000 people that have already separated, and I believe that they're going to drive out another 3,000 or 4,000. That's in an agency that was already at a 50-year low with customers at an all-time high. As they do that, you are then going to see intermittent interruptions of the applications that process the claims, not the green screen COBOL that has all of our earnings in it and the personal identifying information, but the applications that sit on top of that, you're going to see them go down. In fact, I think today they were down for 3 hours. They are going to happen more frequently, and then in the weeks ahead, you're going to see them lasting a longer period of time. Instead of just down for 3 hours, you'll see them getting to 3 days. Ultimately, the combination of those things will see this agency head into a cascading event when that will ultimately interrupt the payment of benefits for some time. I don't know what that period of time will be, but knowing what I know about the agency, that batch goes through in various segments every month for pay, and I truly believe that for the first time in 90 years, those benefits are going to be interrupted for some time. I don't know how long. The goal, of course, in all of this, I've come to believe, it's not mere arrogance. Could be ideology. But it would appear that what they're trying to do is crater this agency and kneecap its ability to serve the public. They have to do that because 80% of Americans believe that Social Security should be strengthened and made better. So they can't really rub it until they wreck it and sour enough of the public against it. So you see a common thread going through a lot of their changes. Oh, no longer can seniors who have a hard time getting to a field office, no longer can they get their business done on the phone. We're policing fraud, so no longer can they do it by the phone. They have to go to a field office. The enumeration beyond entry, which actually was going on during the first Trump administration, the automation when USCIS sends to Social Security, people who are immigrating lawfully and says, send them a Social Security card for work purposes. Oh, you can no longer do that? There might be fraud. You know, it's all part of a blue conspiracy to give immigrants the right to vote. So they make them go to a field office. I could go through other ones, but it seems that what they're trying to do, even as they threaten to close offices, is to jam them up and give people the worst possible experience they can have. So then after wrecking it, they can rob it. What they want to do with the $2.7 trillion, I cannot tell you. You all have your theories. But I can see that they're trying to wreck this agency. And the people of the United States who earn this benefit need to stand up right now. I truly believe only an aroused democracy can stop them from doing what they're already 90% of the way to doing. And it's my great hope that because of this hearing, because of the laser focus, because Leader Jeffries of you and your colleagues raising the alarm, that maybe we can even persuade some reasonable Republicans to lend their voice to the cause of securing Social Security for the future. Thank you.
Thank you.